Welcome back to It's a Girl Thing.
We're sat side by side.
I know, it feels so weird
Do you wanna say
because we have our first ever guest. We're so excited. We have got Miss Dee Dee Cerise, aka Dee Dee, showgirl, gorgeous female empowerment queen. Basically everything that It's a Girl Thing is all about. So Dee Dee, welcome.
Welcome to the pod.
How are you?
I'm amazing, thank you. I'm so excited to be here.
We're literally like so buzzing all day. We've been like, wait, we've got our first guest and she is like ultimate
A
girly
queen.
pop vibes. Like, yeah, basically a queen. We basically call all our listeners our besties because they are, and now you're a new bestie as well. So tell the besties like what you do, what you're all about, so they get a picture of Dee Dee.
Amazing. So yeah, I'm Miss Dee Dee Cerise. I am a showgirl. I do burlesque. Very nice.
I love it.
And most importantly, I have my own business now called Cheeky Cherry Wellness. So we create gorgeous, luxurious wellness, empowerment, showgirl experiences for women. So that's through like retreats, workshops, hen parties, private parties, that sort of thing.
I have a question.
Yes.
I have no clue what a showgirl is because Lucie, our friendship is, Lucie is very girly. I'm very boy-y.
Okay.
So I don't know what a showgirl is. So can you tell everyone, including me?
Yes, absolutely. So showgirl. So there is actually kind of a bit of a difference. I'm more of a burlesque dancer. Showgirls are more, if you imagine Las Vegas, like, you know, when they're dressed up in their little costumes with like the big feathers and stuff. But on Instagram and everything, if you say burlesque, you're literally like, So,
Really?
yeah, so I kind of use showgirls to be a bit more like, and a lot of other women do it as well.
Wow.
But yeah, like showgirl burlesque is basically like a performance artist.
On stage?
Yeah, on stage.
Wow.
Or you can get like private bookings for like restaurants. I've once performed in a castle.
What?
Oh my God, that's so cool.
So yeah, basically you just like dressed up really glamorous, lots of sparkle, feathers, headpieces.
Dancing?
Yeah, dancing. Although I'd say burlesque, my style of burlesque especially, it's really rooted in empowerment. So it's more like, I like to call it divine feminine posing and movement. So yeah. So it's more like I'll create like a really beautiful shape with my body, and then I'll kind of like slink around into the next one. Yeah, so I love it so much.
And do you get nervous? Because I don't know how you do that.
Yes, there's
You do?
definitely, oh my gosh, of course, like there's performance nerves and excitement. But I actually used to do acting for a really, really long time. And I'd say between like performing burlesque on stage and acting, I'd take burlesque any day. But I think it's because you don't have like the talking element. So I feel like you're just using your body. And also when you practice so much, you get like you get like muscle memory.
Yeah, I wondered
so
that.
you could be like, oh my God. And then you
soon
hear the
as you
music.
start,
And
it
also you
goes.
obviously have like a bit of an alter ego when you're on stage.
Yeah.
So like before I perform, I'll literally be like, it's Dee Dee time.
I am
So my real
obsessed.
name's Molly.
How did you decide on Dee Dee?
How did I decide on Dee Dee? So it was a process. So when I went to burlesque school,
That's so cool. That's a thing. Burlesque school.
Absolutely, it's a thing.
Oh my God. I want to go to burlesque school.
Oh my gosh, you absolutely should.
I should.
You should do
It's
that.
honestly the best thing I've ever done. Like I've met some of my best friends from there. I
Aw.
did it 2 years ago, and like, yeah, to this day we're all still like doing so many different things. We're all so supportive of each
Oh,
other.
that's
Like
so
it's honestly
cool.
like the most like bonded girly pop experience ever.
Aw.
And it really like brings you at one with your body. Yeah, I just think it's such an amazing experience. So my middle name's actually Dee, Molly D. So Dee Dee kind of came from there.
Yeah.
And then when I was thinking of like the surname, honestly, I had like a big list. I remember like the word amour was on there. So I think that's, is it French for love?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you know, that kind of vibe. Basically, I used to like make films and things, and my little production company was called Cheeky Cherry.
Oh my God.
So Cherry has just always been like there with me. And then I found the French name for Cherry was Cerise. I was like,
Is
ooh,
it?
yeah.
I didn't know that.
And then I added like the Miss in front, and like my real name initials is MDC, and then Dee Dee Cerise is MDC as well. So
That's
Oh,
really
I
cute.
it's like my own
it.
little like
at the burlesque school, do they tell you kind of to come up with an alter ego, or because do you know Beyonce is famous for her alter ego Sasha Fierce?
Yes.
Well,
So,
yeah,
like-
but I don't know what that is.
Her alter ego. So like I
Is
feel
she Sasha Fierce on stage or is she Beyonce on stage?
depends on the song, but usually Sasha
Oh.
Fierce. Like
Yeah.
when she's being
Really?
diva, bad bitch energy, that's Sasha Fierce. That is, and like she says, like Beyonce at home is not like that.
Yeah.
But that's Sasha Fierce.
Really?
So like, was
Interesting.
that encouraged at burlesque school?
So yeah, so when you first start your course, you do like a bit of character work. So you kind
Love.
of like, and we also do this in hen parties as well.
Oh my god,
So we'll kind of like walk around the room and we'll do some character work.
no.
But in terms of like Sasha Fierce, Beyonce, I'd say for myself personally, and I think this is kind of what it's like for everyone else as well. It's like there's Molly and there's Dee Dee, but Dee Dee's not a different person to me. Dee Dee is just like the best, you know,
Yes.
like the most fun, exhilarating part of myself. So like she doesn't have to worry about like chronic illness or like anything going on at home. Like she's literally just in her own like goddess energy 100% of the time.
Yeah.
And she just turns up in
I
a
love
pink dress,
that.
red lips, and that's just the vibe.
Yeah.
So
I love that.
yeah.
That's so interesting though, because I think people can relate to that in different like places. Like, you know, when you're not feeling very confident, but you know, I just have to show up today.
Yeah.
So you just like put on your bravest face, your most confident face. I wonder if it's like a bit like that.
100%. I
Like-
feel like we need alter egos though.
You do.
Because also, so me and Dee Dee actually met at a big bosom brunch, shimmy shimmy, and Dee Dee was there doing like her cheeky cherry wellness, like teaching us all burlesque moves. It was literally unreal. But I feel like I've been on a journey being in like the fuller bust space on Instagram and stuff, like with my body, because when you grow up with really big boobs, it's like not for everybody probably, but for me it was like difficult to like come to terms with it. I didn't look like my friends and I looked like
Really?
sexualized younger and
At
stuff.
school, I remember you just being the coolest girl because you had boobs.
From like year 10, but in like year 7 I was like hiding in a corner getting changed for PE because none of you even had bras on and I was there like, so like I feel like that's been like a journey for me with my body. And I loved at this brunch that I was at with Dee Dee, there was all people on like different journeys. I was definitely, so I just stayed fully clothed the whole time and like did the dance moves because I did dances, like dance classes when I was younger. So I loved dancing, but I was like in trousers and a top.
Yeah.
Other people stripped down to their undies and were giving it everything they've got. And I was like, that's unreal.
Yeah.
And like,
How cool to be that confident,
confident,
in yourself.
now,
That's
like
so
when I
cool.
learn more about you, I'm like, maybe that was their
Then-
alter ego type
Yeah.
thing. So I'm like, we need that. So we need to come up with names for our alter egos somehow.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
But also, I just felt like it was so much fun what you did, and I need you to teach Ebs to shimmy. Because
Oh my gosh,
you're
of course.
like just the least
No,
shimmy.
I'm so
person.
wooden. I'm like, if there's music and everyone's dancing, I'm like,
Oh my god, bless you. We need
Which
to
is
get
crazy because she's a
yeah.
singer.
Oh,
no, but
really?
I can't dance. I will happily
But
sing.
you're
But
creative.
that doesn't mean I'm creative with my body moves.
Yeah. So we definitely need to get you feeling like your own sensual energy,
I'm
feeling
obsessed
your
with this.
body.
I don't get how you make your body move that way.
Okay, so how
Wait,
can I do?
first of all, get into alter ego energy.
I feel like if you need one today, I feel like your hair, it's like gorgeous. But also Ebony, I feel like Ebony is like the perfect
I know
name.
it is the perfect name.
Thanks.
I guess I don't know.
Yeah, what do I strike you as? Wooden.
Oh my god, that would actually be so
Wait,
hot.
what's your
like-
middle name?
Rihanna.
Oh,
You've got like the best name. as
Riri,
well.
Miss Riri.
Yes. Miss Riri Woods. I feel
Oh
like Wood could be like naughty. She gives everyone Woods. And Woods, it's like L Woods vibes.
Yes,
Yeah.
Miss Riri Woods is a bad bitch.
So you can shimmy when you're sat down.
Okay.
Which I guess we'll do now because we're sat. I'll stay sat. So basically you just kind of like arch your back a bit.
I'm getting into this as
Yeah.
well.
You've got denim on, so it might be a bit harder, but you can do it.
Get it off.
Yeah, take it off. So I like to do a little, and then kind of it's in the shoulders. So
Is
like,
it?
yeah, move the shoulders.
My boobs are literally just like.
Because sometimes people get stressed. They're like, oh, my boobs are too small. And I'm like, you need shoulders, not boobs.
Shoulders.
Yeah, it's in the shoulders. So
Interesting.
I'm moving my shoulders, but because I've got big boobs, they're
They
going,
are-
No, what? You're shaking your hips.
Are your hips saying
no, they're
Shoulders are going like that.
shoulders.
Yeah.
You can do it and lean
How are
back
you
a little
doing
bit.
this so fast?
I'm so into it.
Also, I've been doing
I'm
this
like,
for years, so.
Later.
Later,
Right.
I promise you, later when you get home, take your jacket off, lean back a little bit, look in the mirror and go, woo. and you
Girlies,
do it.
anybody watching this right now, we want you all to be doing your Miss Dee Dee Cerise
Do
shimmy,
a little
shimmy.
shimmy.
Hashtag it's in the shoulders.
Yes.
Mine's Miss Riri Woods.
Yes.
Yours is.
So weird because this is what my family call me, but my family call me Lulu, and I'm loving
I
Lulu. I
love
feel like Lulu is
Lulu.
very like fun and playful. So it would
Yes.
definitely be Miss Lulu
I feel like your hair, it could be like Miss Lulu Flame.
Rouge
Or
or
Rouge.
Flame.
Oh, Rouge.
Miss Lulu Rouge. That's me. But that is really
Perfect.
copying
That's a
Miss Dee Dee
good
Cerise. But
one.
Miss Lulu Rouge. I was like
You can have
the
it.
Timu version of Miss Dee Dee Cerise. Miss Lulu Rouge.
No, it's gorgeous.
I'm obsessed.
I'm the Shein version.
Yeah, I just think when in doubt, get the French out when you're trying to make.
Yeah.
100%.
trying
It
to
just
make a
makes it
burlesque
sound
name.
great. Yeah.
Do we need to replace Woods? Or are you
No,
Miss Riri
I'm
Woods?
all for the wood.
Miss Riri Woods and Miss Lulu Rouge. I literally love that so much.
Yeah.
For all the girlies listening, we actually checked the other day. Our audience stats was like 98% girlies, and I was
You
like,
would hope.
I was
Oh,
obsessed
I don't want
with that,
any
though.
boys listening to my really
No.
embarrassing story.
But we know they do. Apart from you, producer Adam, you're allowed to listen. So for all the girlies listening, like, what would you, if you could give one piece of advice to the girlies to like get them into their feminine energy, help them feel their best self, what would you give?
I'd say take up space.
Yeah.
And to elaborate on that, I mean, as women, we're so divinely gorgeous. We've got all the, I mean, men have emotions too, but I feel like women, you know, we're on the clock. We're on like a 28-day cycle. Like we've got the, I always say it wrong, like the follicular, I'm so dyslexic.
Follicular. Eb's always does stuff like that
Oh my
as well
God.
when you know.
Because I always
think it's follicular.
Okay, so you know we've
follicular or
got like the
something.
follicular phase. We've got the when the eggs come in.
Ovulation.
Oh, ovulation, and then we've
mhm.
got luteal. Boo. But we've got all these different phases.
Yeah.
We have different emotions and hormones running through us with these
Don't
phases.
we know about that?
Yeah, and I feel like we never taught about this in school or anything.
I
so
said
it can,
this to my boyfriend the other day.
rubbish.
yeah, literally. I
Also,
feel,
boys should be taught about it too.
But that's,
yeah.
There's a guy that's gone viral on TikTok for showing the different weeks of his girlfriend, and he's like, this week she's in this phase, which
Yeah.
means she really fancies me. And
Yeah.
it's like a boy's version, but
love
it's really
that.
cute. And then my boyfriend Burge, he was like, I feel like I should know about your weeks because some weeks you're really sad. And I was like, yeah, I am. And then I was like, but what's sad is I wasn't even taught about these
Yeah,
weeks. So now I
no.
have to teach you and,
And
me.
me.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, it wasn't me. I feel like I got taught about men's wet dreams at school when I was like 10 years old. Like, why did I
in
even need to know
sexual
that?
education?
Yeah.
I know.
But then here I am, like nearly
That's
30.
on a need to know basis.
Yeah.
Why am I not knowing about my period, but I'm knowing about your weird dream?
Literally. And then it's like now I feel like most women who are in like their late 20s, 30s, even 40s are only just finding out like
100%.
how their bodies even work. And that's literally through like digging, trying to
TikTok and
find
stuff. I
it
know.
out. Oh, TikTok. Thank you,
I
God.
know.
So basically, we have all these different things going on. And I feel like our whole lives we're kind of taught to like be quiet, like deal with things on our own, like figure it out for ourselves. And just don't be afraid to take up space. And like, if something makes you feel a certain way, that's absolutely fine. If you want to do something, that's absolutely fine. And don't be afraid to be like too much.
Don't dim your light just because of what
Yeah,
people are thinking around
Exactly
you.
that. And unfortunately, there are still so many spaces where we are encouraged to really dim ourselves. And sometimes you've got to play the game, unfortunately, but like you can still have your own mind and your own thoughts and like know your own power.
I
So
love
I'd say
that.
that. Take up space. Don't forget your own power. You've got this,
I'm
girl.
Obsessed with that because I feel like we get a lot of DMs from people that need to take up more space. So
Yeah.
I think that advice will be really good for them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's why I love, so we met at this Big Bosom brunch, and that has helped, like being in a space full of women that are like you, like really
Yeah.
empowering. That's changed my life because I used to like sit like, oh, I don't want to like look a certain way, and now I'll wear a low
Shimmy,
cut top and be
shimmy,
shimmying my way, like,
Yeah.
and so we should obsess.
Absolutely.
I've got work to do in the shimmy department. I'll get there.
Miss Riri Woods is gonna get there though.
Yes.
I was like, who's that?
She's already forgotten.
Absolutely. As soon as that jacket comes off,
Just
Oh,
you
yeah.
wait.
So you're like bringing all these amazing vibes. We're obsessed, but I want to know, which would be unreal if this is the case. Have you always been this confident?
no. No, it's absolutely been a journey. It's definitely something I have to work on, and it's something that I bring to all my workshops, my hen dos, retreats, everything. And there are so many different ways to like gain confidence, and one of them I actually have with me.
Oh, you gotta give.
So, so
Money for you. Money for you.
And now I'm confident.
I've got affirmation postcards.
Oh,
I love that.
So affirmations. Do you guys have any experience with affirmations?
I
this
would
is-
say I'm all about it.
this is not my bag, but I like it. But I just, whenever my friends, they all love
Eb
these.
seems to attract people like
Yeah,
me that
yeah.
love manifesting,
Mhm.
affirmations, visualization, and she's at the beginning of her journey.
Yeah, I'll listen. I like to listen to it, but then I'm like, I probably wouldn't do a vision board, but more so because I don't want to sit still and do it.
Yeah,
True.
absolutely. Honestly, that is your divine feminine calling you. I promise you. Do you know it took me 7 years to finally do burlesque? It was something I wanted to do.
Really?
Yeah, it was something I wanted to do that whole time, and I was so nervous, too scared, never went
Well,
through
go
with
you
it.
for doing it, because literally every friend I have loves manifestation, vision boards, crystals,
Mhm.
Yeah,
and then
we are all like that.
Yeah.
And then she introduces me to them, and I'm like, hey,
Hey,
we're the same.
yeah. Besties. So a big part of what I do is affirmations, and I have these affirmation postcards I made. So there's 5
So
different ones, but I chose I radiate
cute.
confidence for you guys today.
I
So we're talking about
love- yeah.
confidence,
I
but
love that.
yay, so you can put it up like on your bathroom mirror at home, or like your
Yes.
vanity or something, and then you can just
Little
see it every
confidence
morning.
boost.
Yeah, and honestly, I promise it works. Like
Yeah.
the more you say something to yourself, your brain actually starts to believe
Believing
it.
it, I think that too.
So if you start being really negative about yourself all the time, that's what your brain's going to believe. But if you keep
Yeah.
affirming yourself,
like training it.
yeah, and I mean, I'm a real person. I'm not going to say I'm like happy all of the
Of
time.
course.
But if there's a time where I'm like, okay, like I'm feeling really like this, but I need to be up here, I'll get one of my affirmation cards, and it'll be something
Aw.
like, I radiate confidence, my body is beautiful, whatever kind of fits the scene.
Mhm.
And honestly, it does help so much. So
I love that. So on It's a Girl Thing, we're a big fan of a funny story, and we get a lot of DMs of funny stories as well.
Yeah.
But we were talking about
Sadly,
you.
we've got embarrassing stories too.
We do, we do. We were thinking about you. We were like, she's going on stage in like little bras and stuff. She's also going to hen dos. You must have seen some things.
yeah.
We want to know if you've got any on stage like disasters,
Dramas,
dramas, anything like that you've seen at hen dos that you've been like, this is good. We did an episode where people sent in their hen do horror stories.
Yeah, we
And
did.
one girl said that the like bride had sex with a stripper or something, like it got crazy.
Oh
So we
my
want to
God,
take some
it
crazy
was-
stories from you, either yourself or the hen dos.
Oh my
We've
God.
decided hens are more crazy
Crazier than
than
stags.
the stags.
I just think
yeah.
people don't talk about it as much because
Yeah,
girlies are good
yeah.
at being
The
like,
girl
what happens
code.
on the hen stays on the hen.
Oh my goodness. I've had like my bare boob on stage.
Oh
No, wait, we go back. How did this happen?
So this was a couple years ago. I was performing at Soul Circus, which was so amazing.
Yeah.
Great vibes. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of
I
it.
have heard of it,
Oh,
yeah.
it's amazing. It's literally just like yoga. We had
Yeah.
a big burlesque tent, so we were teaching. It was
Cool.
amazing.
That's so cool.
Yeah, and we did a performance at the end. So it was like a few soloists, and then me and a couple of other girls were leading like a big group of women, all different ages. Like there were grandmas there, there were younger women there. It was so
I love
fabulous.
that.
Oh my God, loved it. They loved it. Like
Oh.
afterwards, some of them were like, this is like the best day of my life.
my
Yeah,
God.
honestly, like crying.
Crying.
It was so amazing. But yeah, and then basically at the end, like all of us were on stage, and then me and one of my girlfriends, we kind of did like a little tassel off to each other. But the thing with me, I'm a 32G, so my boobs are kind of like this. They're quite long, which is great for tasseling because they'll be like, woo.
I love how you're just like so open about talking about this. I'm obsessed.
But where we were going like so fast, oh my God, my boobs were literally ready for takeoff. I didn't even realise.
You start lifting up.
Yeah, just like, and then one of the other girls that were on stage was like, Dee Dee. And I looked down and literally my tassel.
No tassel.
So I've been there and literally there's like families watching and everything. But the thing is though, it's not like, it wasn't sexual, if you know what I mean. I mean, it's a body part, but like I wasn't like, ooh, like it was literally,
No,
but I obviously was like,
I'm screaming. So I think it's time for Fuck Up of the Fortnight.
Our favourite part. So, Dee Dee, we just tell embarrassing stories that have happened in the past 2 weeks. Sometimes it's from a listener. Sometimes it's from us, sadly. And do you want to go first?
Mine is very much embracing the feminine. So I have been working in London for 5 years in a big office, and I've just moved back home with my parents and my boyfriend and my cat to save for this wedding that I've booked and for a house and stuff like that. And so it's down in Bournemouth, and the company that we work for, because my boyfriend works for the same company, has an office in Bournemouth, which is way smaller. So the London office, I think there's like 300 of us. The office down in Bournemouth, there's like 15 to 20 of us. It's like a lot smaller, so it's a lot more personal and stuff. I'm on my period, and not right now, but I was a few days ago, and I was like, should I wear a cream skirt to work? And then I was like, no. And then I was like, it's like day 3, like I think I'll be okay. I just go about my day, everything feels completely fine, go to the toilet, freshen up on lunch, everything's fine. Then I have a whole afternoon of back-to-back meetings, like from my lunch break to when I finish. It's just meeting. Me and my boyfriend are leaving.
I'm worried about this cream skirt.
Yeah, me too. We're leaving the office, and I was like, I'm just going to run to the loo before we leave. And in between meetings, I had been walking around the office to like go and grab a drink and stuff like that. I go to the toilet before I leave. Go pull my pants down. I'm going all out, and I was actually like, ooh, that surely doesn't look good for my skirt. And then I go to the loo, go to look in the mirror, turn around like this. It's there on the skirt. I don't think I've leaked since I was like a teenager. Like that does not happen to me anymore. And I was literally like, because then there's a 10-minute walk through Bournemouth to the car park and to get. And I literally came out and I was like,
"Did you have anything to wrap round?"
No. And I'm like to my boyfriend, the worst has happened, and because I've only recently taught him what leaking is, and I was like, he was like, "You've leaked." I was like, "I've leaked," and he was like swirling my skirt round.
She's leaked.
He was like swirling my skirt round, so it was like here to be like, "It was your leg. It was your leg. Nobody knows it wasn't your leg." And I was like,
love him.
Genius. Like, I was mortified there. I was like, I've just come back to work with these colleagues. I've been walking around for hours. Like, how long has this been like this? And I was just like, oh. And the minute it happened, I was like, I'm going to talk about that on the pod.
Yeah.
Because we're just embracing our femininity.
And
like,
we're just girls out here.
It happens.
Yeah,
but
it does happen.
Does it happen to 32-year-old girlies? Apparently
Yeah,
so.
sometimes you just don't know when that's about to happen.
Yeah, it was very unexpected.
I leaked in some pajama bottoms recently, and that just brought me back to my teenage years.
Isn't it such a teenage thing to happen?
And also, don't you feel so sad when it happens because you're like, I just bought that, or that was my favourite pair of jeans.
I was just like, how old am I? Like, yeah. So that was my fuck of the fortnight. What was yours?
Mine is also toilet related.
Oh my god!
When is it not?
A lot of the time I was toilet related.
Amazing.
So I have a 5-year-old and a 7-year-old, and we were driving along. We'd been in the car for a little while. I can't remember where we were going. I think we were driving to Bournemouth. So we were in the car for about an hour and a half, and my kids are like, "We need a wee, we need a snack, blah 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 blah," and I also needed the toilet. And with your kids, you just talk about anything. So I was like, me too. I actually need a number 2 because I thought it'd be funny and I thought it would make them laugh.
Do you say to them number 2 or do you say I need a poo?
I say a number 2.
Do you?
Well, I say both, but
Okay.
on this occasion I said a number 2. And I did need to go, but I more just said it to make them laugh.
Yeah.
And so then we pull up at the petrol station, we get out and we're walking in, and directly behind us is this man and woman, and they're walking in as well. And I realised they're going to the same place as us. So we get to the toilets and they're directly behind us. There's one toilet. And Daisy goes, "Oh, go on, Mummy, you go first because you're the one that needs the big poo." And I just stopped in my tracks and was like, "Thank you."
that.
I said, "You're right. I will go in
God.
here." And then I walked in.
What did the people behind you look like?
I didn't make eye contact
Yeah.
until I came out, and they know I just went to the toilet.
You went in and did a poo.
Oh my God, you did
Yeah.
it.
I would have been like, I
Yeah.
come up really quickly to be like, I don't know what she was
Yeah.
about.
Kids.
They say the strangest
We had to be in there for a while anyway because they both needed a wee.
Oh, you're
and
all
they
in there, of
come in
course.
at the
Yeah,
same
yeah,
time
yeah.
as me. So we're in there. I come out, I open the door. They know what's just happened in the bathroom. And I just make eye contact with the man and he goes, "Kids." And I was like,
And you're thinking,
"Huh?"
Yeah. Run.
And when
Oh
we were in
my
the
God.
bathroom, I said to Daisy, "I know I told you that in the car, but you don't need to tell it to everyone."
That is
It was a private
hilarious.
conversation.
That is so funny. I love
Yeah,
that.
so that's my fuck up.
Dee Dee, do you have a fuck up of the fortnight?
I'm so classy, but I actually do have a toilet release.
It's 3 for 3.
It
That
has
is
to be.
hilarious.
It's honestly, I boycotted Waitrose for a whole 3 days.
Obsessed.
So basically, I'm on this medication and they've just upped my dose. And since then, I've just been having some like issues going to the
We know all about
bathroom.
that.
Yeah, we
And
know
it
about
got
the
to a
issues.
point where like I was so uncomfortable and so much pain. I was like, I have to go to the
Aw.
shops and like get some laxatives.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
get me all of
You
them.
got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, like literally Googling like what are the best ones?
Yeah,
Da,
yeah,
da, da,
yeah.
da. So go like waddle down to Waitrose. Waddle. Going around Waitrose. And then I'm there. So I'm like, okay, like I might as well buy food. So like I did a shop. And then I had like 2 different types of laxatives. And this girl serves me. Bearing in mind, I always give women the benefit of the doubt, but this day I was like cursing that girl. This young woman, she was definitely like 17 or something. I was like, they should know better. I really felt my age that day. Anyway, she's scanning everything and then she's like, do you have ID? And I was like, no, like why would I need it? And she's like, you need ID for these pills?
Oh,
And
have
I-
a day off.
Yeah, I know. And I was
Like,
just like,
Sorry, it's
I'm-
not like you look 14 or something.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm a woman in need. Like,
Literally.
stop questioning me.
I know, honestly. But I got 2 different types of laxatives, and these were the ones I didn't care that much about. So I was like, okay, whatever, it's fine. And I didn't think. And then she got to the other ones, and then she's like, oh, it's the same with these ones. And I was like, hold up. And I was like, I literally was like, I'm like, no. I was like, I was like, let's be reasonable now. Like, yeah, I literally was like, let's be reasonable now. Like, I need those
Bargaining
ones.
with
Yeah,
her.
like literally. And she was like, no, I'm like, you just look so young. And I was like, right. I was
Well,
like,
younger than
I
you.
know. And I was like,
Compliment.
I'm really sorry to do this, but like, can I speak to your manager?
Yeah.
I honestly felt like the back of my hair, like
Karening.
yeah, I felt it go.
You just morph like.
But the fucking manager, I don't know if I'm allowed to swear, sorry.
Yeah, we always
Yeah,
do.
okay. But yeah, the fucking manager was also like 12. He was so fucking
Oh, it was a
rude.
boy,
Bear in mind
yeah.
also, it's so busy.
And this
She's
is laxative.
Yeah, she's holding them up.
Laxatives
Yeah.
on aisle 2.
He didn't even bother coming over. He was like stood over here,
No.
and she's like, we've got an issue with like, what did she say? With like ID. Oh, she was like, oh, Adam, can you come help? Like whatever his name was. And like he like wouldn't come over, and they were like yelling at each other across
my
the thing. And I was like,
God.
God, please. But because I needed them so much, like I couldn't even like just be like, oh, leave it. And then, but yeah, like he refused as well. And I was just like, oh, like, I was like, I'm 29. I was like, I'm 30 in less than a year. But yeah, I definitely boycotted Waitrose.
Yeah, like grow up and
Yeah.
give me my laxatives, you freak.
I'm sorry,
Like,
imagine like what 17 or under year old is in Waitrose, first of all, buying laxatives. Second of all, is like wearing it on their chest, like arguing with management.
that was the perfect fuck up of the fortnight.
That
for our
was a
pod, though,
good
so
fuck
that was a
up.
real
That
good
really,
one.
that fits in perfectly with the pod.
Well, there
Dee
you
Dee,
go.
this was like unreal. You're our first guest. We had the best time with you. You've
Yay.
taught us to shimmy. You've taught us about being confident. We've got Lulu Rouge and Riri Woods. Like, I've
Yeah.
literally had the best time. Thank you so much for
Thanks.
coming.
Thank you for
Come
having me. I
on.
love you guys.
We love you. Let's all shimmy out.
Yeah.
Shimmy.
Thanks for listening.
Bye.